YouTube family. It is dark and dreary today, so I hope the lighting is okay here. We're going to give it a go. So I posted some singed end flowers that I had made on Instagram and asked if there was any interest in me doing a video tutorial on how I made these. And there was a little bit of interest. There we go. That was hiding. There was a little bit of interest, so here I am to show y'all how to do singed in or burnt in flowers. Okay, so let's see. You can do them with lace. This has been a question. I will say one thing. The very, very delicate parts of the laces burn. They super quick. They melt. They pretty much disappear. So you would need a little bit of a thicker, more substantial piece of lace. But yeah, you can make a lace flower. And I think it's really, really pretty. This one is made of satin. Possibly my favorite. I don't know. I did one in was it? No, it was not chenille. That's not the word I'm trying to think of. Can't think of the word right now. The brain has gone blank. But I love that one too, and I love the satin. This, though, is lined, and it takes so long to singe the ends. Can't talk. This one is mixed. It's got some lace. It's got some satin. It's got some of the other that I can't think of the name of right now. So yeah, anything that you use, you're just going to have to go kind of slow and work with to see how long it takes to singe those ends. Some like that, some it takes a little while and you have to be patient. But let's get started. Okay. So first, you're going to need some circle templates. I've got 4 here, and this one is almost, almost 5 inches. You can see, not quite, almost. I did not measure before I cut. I just made them, 4 different sizes from biggest to smallest. This one is, excuse me, about 4 inches. This one, about 3.5. And this one, about 2 3/4. So about ½ inch difference between all of them. Not quite, but about. If you're wanting to do measurements, I would maybe start at 4.5 or 5, depending on how big you wanted your flower, and go down ½ inch with each circle. That seems to have, excuse me, seems to have worked out pretty well for me. So I've already got some circles cut, but I am going to show y'all with this other fabric that I have. This is silk, nylon, and polyester, and I've cut 8 circles, 2 of each. This is pure polyester, and y'all can see this material is so light. It slips so easily, and even though I have a fabulous pair of fabric scissors, there was just no way to get perfect circles and to stop it from slipping. But that's okay. We want flowers. We don't want perfection. If you look at flowers in nature, their edges are kind of, it's not perfection, right? And that's the beauty of it. So yeah, so this came from a curtain panel, and this come from a vintage nightgown that I got from an antique store a while back. I just love the fabric and the lace on it. Okay. I've got a tablecloth here, and you know what, let me see if there's a tag on it. I should have looked before, but I've used this so much. If there was a tag, I probably cut it out. Yeah, or that might be the tag. I don't know. Of course, I didn't have this issue of the throat stuff till I turned on my camera. I don't see a tag, so I am not sure what material this is. But I am going to fold it in half. so that I cut 2 circles at once. Let me show y'all what I mean. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, and this way you don't have to spend all day cutting one at a time. I've even cut out 4 at a time. You certainly can. I just wanted to show y'all the differences in fabric and how it singes, so didn't want to do too many this time. Excuse me, my goodness. Okay, I'm using a charcoal pencil. You can use whatever you have. I like to use this because, one, I know that it's going to show up. A piece of cat hair. 2, it rubs off so easily. You know, if I get it somewhere that I don't want it, I can just rub it off. And if it doesn't rub off, a baby wipe will take it right off. But it transfers so well, so easily. All right, so there's my first. I have yet to make a flower out of this material. It's probably polyester. Got it from an antique store, tablecloth. But I'm not certain. But it probably is. Or some sort of mixed material. But it's pretty thick. It's thick, and I really like the color and the print on it. And that's why I wanted to try it to see what we'll get. I'm going to miss this tablecloth when it's gone. I've used it for many, many things. And it's getting low. Okay, then our smallest over here. And we'll just cut up here. That way, hopefully, I remain in the screen. Hold that together. Again, y'all, it does not have to be a perfect circle. But, you know, let's try not to do triangles or rectangles. Don't know how well those would do as a flower. Flowers are, you know, they tend to have a round shape. Well, you know, not all of them, I guess, but you know what I mean. All right, got our big ones. Set those aside. And y'all, of course you can use any scissors that you want to cut your fabric, but I highly recommend, especially if you're going to be doing many of these, using the really heavy, really excellent scissors. Otherwise, you're going to be pushing the fabric. Sure, you'll be cutting some, but you're also going to be pushing it, and it just, the struggle of not using a good pair of scissors, it's just not worth it, in my opinion. This just slides through it like butter. I love them. When I first started doing making the junk journals, and most of what you see in my junk journals is made by me by hand. I don't buy a lot. I do buy some things. Okay, you know what? I just lied. I buy a lot. Like, I mean, obviously, well, I'm not going to say obviously because I do make a lot of jewelry too, but, you know, I've got a ton of brooches here. I have a ton of flowers that I didn't make, but I do make a lot of my own flowers. A ton of fabric, laces, stuff like that. I don't make my own laces. Though I am learning how to make lace, but I'm sure that I'll never make all of my own lace. But what I'm saying is I make a lot by hand, a lot. And I do a lot of fabric cutting and a lot of lace and ribbon cutting. So I learned pretty quick. Just buy the shears now. Save yourself a lot of headache. Okay. All right, let me put this aside. I'm going to go ahead and light my candle. Now, don't hit the light, don't hit the light. There we go. I brought 2 candles in here because for some reason, and I can't say what it is, I honestly don't know. But after the candle's been burning for a little while, it seems to not singe the ends as fast as, I don't know. I can't explain it, but you know, I'll just blow that out, light a new one, and we're going again much faster. And then that one will harden up, and then I'll relight it and go through the same thing. I don't know why. All right, so with each circle, I'm going to cut 6 tiny slits. Tiny in this one, a little bit bigger in the next one. So there we got 6 slits. I want y'all to keep it right there so y'all can see. I'll go ahead and cut this. This is the same size as that one. And I don't know how many I will use of this yet, or which ones rather. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we got small slits there. So I want to go a little bit bigger with the slit here. Yes, a little bit bigger. Okay. Four, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This one's a little bit bigger, so we're going to give it a little bit more of a slit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice that I did not measure in between those. Again, I'm not going for perfection. You can feel free. We're going to make this a little bit bigger. Still 6. Okay, got all this done. Now I am only going to use 7 pieces because odd numbers look more natural. You just don't see even numbers all that often out in nature. So 5, 7, you know, I would at least go 5. I've never tried 3, but, you know. All right. We'll hold that over and begin to curl. I've also noticed that each different fabric curls a different way. So you just got to mess with it to see. Most of the time I've noticed it seems to want to curl up, but that's not 100%. If you like your ends actually singed, just hold it closer. I have done that and I do like it. Depends on what I'm in the mood for. And you know what? I've also done it on accident. Ow, don't burn yourself like that. Nothing compared to my hot glue burns that I actually have gloves for to protect myself and just forget about them. Don't wear them very often. My husband got on to me till I eventually bought some gloves to protect myself from myself. Y'all see how that place here with the leaf kind of, it definitely melted quicker than the other parts of the fabric. You might want to fast forward through me melting every single one that I'm going to melt, but don't fast forward it yet because there's something that, ow, what was that? I wasn't even near a flame, I don't know. Little, because there's something that I want y'all to see that I think is important to the process in just a moment. Still don't know what that was. And remember, kids, don't play with fire. That should apply to me, right? That include big kids. That was weird, though. Y'all notice how I'm getting up in the middle of them too, in the middle of the slits. Okay, now what I wanted y'all to see that I think is important is I go along and I do each petal to give it that little bit of puckering, to give each petal a little bit of puckering. I don't do it quite as much as I do the ends, but I think it's important, well, you know, to the look that you want. If you want the petals to look more smooth and puckered, then, you know, skip this part, but I like the look that it gives. And yes, we got a little melted hole there. That's totally okay. You're going to get plenty of those if you do this long enough. And it doesn't matter because all of them are going to be stacked together. You won't notice it. Not to mention, again, in nature, how many holes do you see in the petals? Usually you're going to see some. All right, after I do that, I'm going to even do the center part. I don't know if everybody does this. I've seen tutorials, and I'm not sure that I've ever seen anyone pucker the whole flower. It's just something that I've played with and that I like myself. Kind of shrivels it up. Okay, we've got one. Now, if you want to fast forward, But don't fast forward through all of the ones that I'm going to do, because I want you to see how each piece does. And don't fast forward through me putting it together. It's so pretty. And there's a couple of important aspects of the putting together that you're going to want to know. But if you don't want to watch me singeing all these ends, I get it. I think you should, but you know, I get it. I might say something witty and you might miss it. That was a joke, by the way. I doubt I'll be saying much of anything witty right now. I don't know what's up with my voice. I've been feeling decent. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit dehydrated. Y'all see I am not holding it on that flame. I'm holding it above and it's still just working beautifully. Don't set it right on the flame and set your fabric ablaze. You can singe it enough without putting it in the flame. Kind of wants to go in the flame on its own, doesn't it? Because this is curling downward, which is different than I thought it would do. The petals puckering up, but the actual singed fabric is mostly curling down. Okay, now we're going to go and do each petal. You know, the quickness with which it melts it really shocked me. Did I already do this one? Well, there's a little part right there I did not. Anyway, okay. I'm really liking the way that this fabric is looking. So hopefully we're going to get a really, really pretty flower. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I think I'll just do one of these instead of, and then do the rest of those. I'll just tell y'all not to put your fabric in the fire and didn't realize that it was in the fire. Ow, ow, it's still hot too. So if y'all do not want this singed piece, you know what, I do think I'm gonna cut some of that off. That's a little bit too singed for me. So yeah, I mean I'm gonna just cut that off. There we go, that big chunk I didn't want there, but I don't mind some. I want this to be. That did not quite pucker like I wanted. There we go. Okay. All right, so let me see how that's going to look on there. If that's okay. These smaller pieces go even faster. They seem, less space to cover, I suppose. Still going pretty fast here, aren't we? Okay. Still want to pucker that whole flower. It's a little bit more difficult to stay out of the fire at this point, your fingers rather, but it's manageable. Just be careful. Okay. Alrighty, let me see. I'm trying to decide if I want to do another this one or another that one. So let me, oh, that was my teeny tiny. No wonder why that didn't look quite right. I was like, yeah, kind of wanted more bulk in the back middle there. I didn't mean to do my teeny tiny one. Got out of order. And no, it doesn't matter which order you do them. I am just, it's just a personality thing of mine. My husband and I kill zombies out on Call of Duty, and he just goes around the map like willy-nilly killing the zombies and whatever. And I have a certain strategy that I use to go around my areas of the map. Like, this is the area I go to first. If we get dropped off here, this is the area I'm going to go to first. I'm going to do this and this and this, and I'm going to clean that whole area out until it's time to go to the next area. And I have a strategy that I do that, and he just runs around willy-nilly, and I just don't get that. Like, how can you not strategize and do it a certain, I just, it's personalities. And what's really weird is, in our relationship, he's the logical, meticulous, I wouldn't say more detail oriented, but he is definitely the more, still think, I don't like all that black, the more, I would think that he would be the one to have a particular strategy, and I would be the one to do more willy-nilly. I'm definitely more the creative, free, go with the flow type of person, I think. Yeah, yep, I like that. But with I've got strategies, and that's just what I follow. And it seems to be that way with just about everything that I do. I find what works for me. It seems to be best in getting the stuff done, and I like to follow it. The willy-nilly thing kind of makes me feel anxious. Anyone else notice that about themselves? And like I said, what's really weird is I am definitely much more spontaneous than he is. Much more creative. So I just find that odd. That seems that, I don't know, it doesn't seem right, but that's how it is. Okay. Wait, I need one more, right? Let's see. I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, and I was going to use, I think it was 2 of these. And there's my cat. Probably won't know what I'm doing. Yep, there he is. Bo, you do not need to be around this fire. You're not trustworthy. That's right. Skim the outer edges. You're looking outside. You want to go out, but it's just too cold and wet for that baby. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to hold that out, but nope, got too hot. Sometimes I just love the way that they pucker. All right. He's wanting to grab stuff and throw it off my workspace, of course. Troublemaker. All right, so what I'm going, oh, no, I want to pucker that. I didn't see that. Why would you stop it? Okay. All right, I'm going to blow the candle out. And I'm going to start putting this together. Now, this is an important part. Please pay attention here. Otherwise, you might end up with a flat flower. Bo! He is now throwing my fabrics on the floor. No. That was bad. Okay. Let's see. Move that out of the way. All right. Getting my glue gun. All right. You're only going to want a dot of hot glue. Okay. You can of course use any glue that you want. I prefer hot glue. It does an instant job and I can shape the flower. You're only going to want a dot because if you fill that bottom full of hot glue, then you're going to have a flat flower. Okay? That's not what you want, I don't think. Yes, if you want a flat flower, do it like that. I kind of scrunch, shape it how I want it while the glue's still melting. This one looks a touch bigger. Pucker it up. Now I already know what I'm making these for. So I'm going to choose a really big beautiful center for them, but I have not chosen it yet. Okay, I'll put my glue gun back on charge so it can be ready for when I do choose it. Okay. I mean, that's already pretty, isn't it? Let's scoot up. Scoot it back here. That is already really pretty. I love the way that dimpled and came out. I didn't take these out of their bag. Let me take these out so I can have a look at these. This is the one that I really wanted to see. I don't know. It's a maybe. Those are some beautiful dangles, aren't they? I do really like that, but I wonder if it's, I don't know. I mean, that's a definite maybe. This I'm going to set aside, okay? So I can use that in a mixed flower later. That's cute. And this, I'm sure it's going to be too big. It's still pretty, but no, not what I'm looking for. But I really did like that, so let me put that right there. That's really pretty. Let me see if I want to add a brooch. Or is that too much? Get out of there. That is really pretty. I really, really like that. And there's a little. Nope, that's not enough. Not substantial enough for what I'm looking for. That's pretty, but not exactly. Nope. Okay. I do really like that. I do, if the flower were just a little bit smaller, but I think I need something a little more substantial, and I'm just really, really liking that. Just for what I'm thinking of doing. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, let me look one more time here. I like it, but no, not what I'm thinking. That's really pretty. But I'm thinking that I'm going to go with this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. And we are going to work on another flower. I think I might need a glue stick in a moment. All right, I think, I don't know. I guess I'll just do this polyester one. Go ahead and do this one. Give it 6 little cuts. Oh, what a circle. So that should be pretty interesting. I've never actually done any that were this bad of circles. So we're going to see how it turned out, right? Might be a disaster. Might be gorgeous. Hopefully it'll be gorgeous. Three, 4, 5, 6. Every time I go up to a bigger size, I make a bigger slit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's my other big one? Bow. Well, I guess that I will only use one big and then the rest of these, right? Doggone it. It's around here somewhere. A bit of a bigger slit. 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking that these are this one's going to burn quick. So I'm going to need to be extra careful. All right. Okay. Matches. All right, so do the biggest one first. Oh yeah, there we go. That is quick and it's burning downwards. Seems like the other one. Well, I don't know. That one's moving up. I'm not sure that it knows what it wants to do. I'm telling you though, it wants to pucker quickly. My goodness. See, so some of the flowers y'all can make within just a few minutes because some fabrics like this, obviously, and the lace, they pucker quick. So that was just important for me to include in this video, was for y'all to see the differences. I don't want anybody catching anything on fire or making holes absolutely everywhere. All of it's different. Okay, and y'all see how quickly that did get a hole. There's really no need to go and with something that's puckering this quickly and doing each individual petal either. Puckering it, it will pucker just fine. And the amount of time that you take to do the petals, and then for just a moment holding the whole flower over the flame for the puckering. So for those of y'all that are less patient, this kind of material would be absolutely perfect, right? All right, come on, let's do this. There we go. And I know that there was a time in my life where I wouldn't have been patient enough to do the much thicker material. This that I did took the longest to do. This actually takes quite a long time to pucker, but it's beautiful. I'd do it all over again. In fact, I did do a few, gave one away as a gift. But there was, once upon a time in my life when I wasn't nearly as patient, I wouldn't have had the patience to hold that over there waiting for it to pucker. But this would have been right up my alley. It's fast, gives you quick results, and beautiful. It'll be beautiful. You'll see how quickly that melted. Again, it's okay. It's not going to show up. And with this, you get to keep your hand away from the flame a bit easier than with the other, because it just wants to do it, doesn't it? And then the tiny ones. Like I said, I'm not working in my my craft room. I'm working in the area where I do my videos. So I had to step in my craft room for a minute. All right, let's put these together. I'm probably going to need this to be able to press down. Because otherwise I will burn myself. Because that's just how thin the material is. And perfect to kind of scrunch up, right? Okay. We'll have to put that a little bit on the outside because the middle is gone. Oh, it's pretty. Okay, let me see. Trying to check my sizes because these wanted to pucker up so much they didn't lay quite as flat as that when I put them down. That is so pretty. That reminds me of a magnolia flower or a big beautiful gardenia. That is gorgeous. Oh wow, I like that. That reminds me of a gardenia. I'm not done putting it together, so let me see. There we go. don't know. Should I leave it like that? Because that was just beautiful. I'm thinking I might. Bo, what are you doing? You are mad because you're not getting all the attention? I'm giving the camera some attention. Mm-hmm. Oh no, so you're gonna knock over all mommy's stuff, huh? I'm trying to, this is my guest bedroom, and I'm trying to organize it. It's also where I keep a ton of craft stuff. And so a ton of things are out, and he is over there behind me. He's deciding he's gonna knock it on the floor because I'm not giving him the attention that he wants. Because him is a spoiled little brat. A spoiled little baby. Him is spoiled baby. Yeah, he's feeling himself right now. All right, let's see how that turned out. Oh my goodness, y'all, look. That is just gorgeous. Now, oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, now let's put one of these smaller ones in the middle and see how I think. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. Oh, I love it. Okay, where's that? Oh, I don't think so. I think I love this. Here's a flower in the middle of it. Yeah, I think I love this. I do. No. No, that's not all the way. Okay, there we go. Oh, y'all, I think that is just beautiful. You know what? I do really, really like this. I really, really do. But I think that I like the delicateness of this a little more. I really do. That is just gorgeous. It's just so flowy and delicate, and I love it. Okay. Now let's try the silk blend. Well, let's just continue using the same candle. It wasn't lit for long, and it's already almost solid. Well, I didn't cut my slits, did I? Okay. Little 1, 2, 3. I am really curious how this is going to pucker. I have not done silk or silk mix or anything yet. This feels like a middle ground between this and that. So yeah, real curious. Feels really good. This was a gorgeous gown. And like I said, you know, I found it in an antique store, and it just, the fabric appealed to me first, but then it was also lined with gorgeous lace. So I got it. At some point, I'm going to have to share my the wedding dress with y'all that I found in the thrift shop. It is the most beautiful one that I've found yet. The most beautiful piece of clothing, you know, something that you would wear that I found in a thrift shop yet. It's just, oh, it was breathtaking. I paid a little bit more for it than I wanted to, but let me see, I've got 4, so no regrets, none. I've had it for over a month and I'm still super happy with it. And yes, I've already cut some off and used it, so couldn't help it. It's just gorgeous. I need to share it with y'all at some point. And a friend of mine said, are you going to cut any of that up and share it in your Etsy shop? I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I mean, I've already used it a bit and I'm just loving it so much. I don't know if I want to share any of it. I know that I'll use it. And then I'm going to miss it when it's gone. You'll see my slits got bigger because I did go up. But you know, I might. Once I really, and y'all look, I tried not to get a seam. I mean, I was looking carefully not to get a seam, and then I ended up getting a seam. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying now. Yeah, because you know, I've gotten stuff before, and then ended up using it all, and then I missed it once it was gone. I think for this one, I'm not going to use 2 itty bitty ones. I'm just going to use 1 itty bitty one. All right, let's see how it goes. All right, so the ends are just singeing without me even putting it that close to the fire, so that's interesting. So if you like the grunge look, and I do, I do not like excessive grunge. I like that vintage, shabby, tiny, you know, a little bit of grunge. And so this is fine with me. If you're not a huge fan of the vintage and the grunge, I would not go with silk or the silk blend. If you do, hold it really far away. And then I don't know how long it would take to pucker. Yeah, I'm not holding it that close and it's just really singeing. And got a little hole there already. Huh. I'm really surprised. Okay. Y'all see that really, really fine lace there, how it melted? That's why I said if you want to do lace, find you a substantial piece to do. And y'all, though it is fine with me that it's singeing, I like the singe. I am just really shocked because I have backed away even more from the flame and it's still singeing so quickly. All right, let's pucker up the petals. Pucker up, petals. Get ready. It is. All right, the next piece I'm going to hold it further back because it is getting holes like really quick. I mean, look at that. All right, set that aside. Do the next. I'm holding it further back from the flame. Y'all, I'm not sure that I'm liking this, honestly. It's just not the singe. It's not the singe that I'm not liking. It's that got holes so quickly, and I was holding it back a ways, and if I don't hold it closer, as close as I am, it seems to not pucker. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't given it a good chance. Ow. Let's see. I mean, well, maybe I'm wrong, but that piece is not puckering. Why are you not puckering? There we go. I've not encountered this. Like I said, I haven't done a silk or a silk blend before. I have not encountered this before, but it does seem that, well, see, that got a really dark place. I don't want, and I had it kind of far. Oh well, we're going to see what we get, right? That is something that I wanted to use my channel for, and I've been very candid about keeping the boo-boos or stuff that I do not like or didn't turn out the way that I wanted on film, because I want y'all to be able to learn from my channel and to also see, everyone makes mistakes. And if you've been with me long enough, you've also seen that even though mistakes are made, I learn from them. And most of the time, it still turns out beautiful. Most of the time, it can be fixed and it turns out beautiful. And I'm hoping this flower is going to be one of those. It's still beautiful. I'm hoping. I cannot believe how quickly that this is done. I don't feel okay puckering every single petal like I did before. Like, that's enough. If I pucker every single petal, I'm going to have holes that I don't want. The occasional hole is fine, but not every petal. I hear Alexa's alarm going off. For my son, telling him time to run a bath. Hopefully y'all won't hear the bath being run, but it is right behind me. Yeah, you might. It's kind of loud. He has spina bifida, and so he has to sit on the potty with help about like 4 days a week. And then after that, he gets in the tub. The alarm tells him when it's time. I was a special needs foster parent for several years, and I did not want a baby. It's enough to get attached to older children, but with a baby, you have to hold them close, skin to skin contact, and the constantly being held, and they're nothing but cute. Yeah, I mean, they can be frustrating with the constant, if they have colic or constant crying or something like that, but still, they're babies. And so I did not want a baby. I was done. with babies. I'd had my 3 babies that I was going to give birth to, and, you know, have as babies. And so I had taken toddlers. You know, I think God gives us children as babies so that we fall absolutely in love with them, so that when they start to be very difficult, we love them too much to kill them like we want to sometimes. Y'all, I am joking. Please, no hate comments. I wouldn't, of course not. That's crazy. But, you know, I mean, if you have children, you know, there's times when, whoo, it can be rough. It can be rough. And you know, the anger and the frustration, and it's real. It's real. We have babies and you just can't help but to love a helpless, defenseless baby that relies on you 100%. And so I did not want a baby for those reasons. There were numerous children that I got very attached to, and that, you know, I wanted to adopt. I love them, and the court will do anything to return a child back to their parents, almost no matter the situation. And so, again, you know, like I said, I just knew it wouldn't be a good idea to get a baby and to fall in love and have to give it back. I thought that would be just too difficult for me. So it was so difficult with the older children that I fell in love with. Anyway, my agency called me. We have this infant, 1 month old. He's in NICU in Atlanta, Georgia. He has spina bifida, myelomeningocele, myodysplasia, bilateral clubfoot deformity, carrier malformation. Seems like I'm leaving something out. I'm sure I am. That's not normally the order I give it, but for some reason, you know, the brain thing. Can you take him? No. I told y'all from the get-go, I don't take babies. No. Not to mention, I have nothing here even for a baby, you know. These kids come with nothing, and you have to provide it all. And I didn't have a layette. Didn't have anything. Nothing for a baby. All of that had been, you know, after my last baby. I'd gotten rid of. I didn't have bottles. Much less, like I said, a bassinet, a crib, sheets for a crib, anything. So no. Find somebody else. An hour later, they call back. There is no one else that will take this baby. Please, you are our last hope. I said, that is fine. Fine. You know, I will go get him. But you need to be looking for another home because, no. And I admit, y'all, I laid in bed that night, the night before I was to go get him, and romanticized getting a baby, having another baby in the house. And I was excited. I was. And we went to pick him up the next day. And they went through everything that he would need for care, which was extensive. And I had not been trained in. And I remember holding him and thinking, they're sending him home with me to die. Oh, y'all, it was so scary. It was so scary. It was horrifying. I knew that they had sent this child home with me to die. It was hard. It was difficult. The first 2 years, we just lived in the hospital. And he had to have his formula thickened because he didn't swallow correctly. He would inhale his formula. It would go into his lungs, and there was, you know, a chance of him getting pneumonia. So I'd have to thicken his formula and cut a larger hole in the nipple for him to suck it through. Except he wouldn't do that. So I would hold him with one arm, and with the other I would put on the bottle on the nipple, and then put my fingers, those same fingers, in his mouth, and then squeeze the nipple and push the formula into his mouth, giving him no choice but to eat, drink, however you want to look at it, and just so we wouldn't end up back in NICU, so, you know, and so he wouldn't die. It was horrifying. And that was how we spent his babyhood and a lot of it. And I kept him alive all that time, along with a million trips to the hospital and to the doctor. Horrifying. He did scream. He screamed for 2 years. I think he knew I wasn't his mom. I think they know. I think they know. I actually have a really sad story about that. So he did not seem to want to be with me. He just did not. He did not love me like I loved him. I wanted, you know, by that time I wanted to cuddle that baby. I wanted to hold him close. I wanted to bond, and he just hated it. He seemed as though he hated it. He hated everything. And we went down to the courthouse where his mom lived for a hearing, and his birth mom asked if she could hold him. He was 6 months old. After she could hold him. Of course she can hold him. And for the first time ever, he laid his head on her shoulder and went straight to sleep. And I went to the bathroom and cried. Because I wanted him to do that with me. I'm about to cry telling the story. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to do. And my feelings were hurt. I know that sounds so silly. He was a baby. It certainly wasn't hurting my feelings on purpose, but it hurt. It did, you know, because the only thing that I hadn't done for him was give birth. And I just wanted him to be my baby. And I wanted him to be happy, you know. But anyway, he was 3 years old when he went up for adoption. And like I said, I had all but given birth to that child. And how many times had I saved his life? I don't know. Lived in the hospital, practically lived in the hospital with him. So, you know, he was my child. And that's what he is. I adopted him. He will be 18 in February. And though he still has no feeling from the waist down, and he can't walk without the aid of canes, and he mostly gets around in a wheelchair, he is just a pure miracle, and he has done so many things that the doctor said that he would never, ever, ever do. And, you know, all in all, other than that first couple of years, he has been extremely healthy. It's rare that he ever gets sick. So, here we are. He'll probably always live with us, you know, at least until we get to that age where we just can't take care of him anymore. And then my daughter said that she would. Oh, she's wonderful. Here we are. I asked him if he ever wanted to get married one day. And he said, maybe. Maybe. I said, yeah? I said, well, where are you going to live? Here with you and Kurt. Kurt's his stepdad, my husband. And he's been wonderful. Wonderful to him. And I just laughed. I mean, of course he would live here, but, you know, it was just funny how matter-of-factly he said it. When my daughter got married and her husband, you know, moved to their own place, he just could not understand it. Why? Why would they just not live here with us? Why? Y'all, that turned out really pretty, didn't it? That is really pretty. So what do I want? In the center. That's got all that dark on it. That might work. Let's see here. And yes, we did eventually bond. You know, as he got older, and there was times in the hospital and so many doctor visits, and I've always just been totally honest and open with him about everything. And, you know, he trusts me and he loves me, and I know that, you know, but I wanted that baby to love me. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Do I want something bigger? Do I? Ah. It's kind of pretty. It's got that milky milky stone in it. I do like that. Let's see a couple more. No, that's not big enough. I do like that. I think that's it right there. I know that that's it. Okay, no sense in continuing because I am happy. Happy with how that looks. I have to say, y'all, I was a little scared of this one. Didn't know how it was going to turn out. But I am completely happy with it. I think it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Let's see what all we created today. And a few weeks ago, I'll pull those out too. We've got this one. I do think this is my favorite. I do. And look how much that that fabric shrunk in comparison. The circles were the same size. And we got this one. Okay. And then this was actually the very, very first one that I made. And got that one. And my lace one. All right, let me see how it looks through the camera. All right, what do y'all think? Which one is y'all's favorite? That one is mine. Even though, you know, I'm really liking the silk one too. I don't know. The one I didn't think that I'd like. I do really like it. Okay, let me know down in the comments what y'all think, what y'all's favorite one is. And thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye.